idea that we get to see miracles all the time in our lives, and how beautiful that is. We're going to look at a biblical passage and then try to make a little connection here to bigger pieces of life. So thank you for joining me. I'm joining you today from Johannesburg, South Africa. So that's a lot of fun. So let's take a look at this line, and it's a line from the Bible. It's a line where Sarah, this old woman who hasn't had any children, and then God promises, like, look, you're going to have a son. And she, of course, considers that like bridge too far, can't imagine that. And then there's this beautiful, beautiful passage where it says in Genesis 18:14, will anything be too amazing for Jehovah, for God? And I will come back to you about this time of life, and to Sarah a son. And that beautiful idea that God's saying, look, he's going to return, and when I return, you're going to have a son. And again, there's a whole lot of story around that, beautiful stories around that. And thinking about that, friends, it's that idea of a miracle, that idea that there's all kinds of things that we experience, but we lose track of the fact that they are just simply amazing. And many of those things are just, they're sort of secrets hidden in plain sight, as they would say. Just the fact that you got to wake up, the fact we have this technology, the fact that we have people in our lives we love. All these different pieces that are part of just that amazing kind of miracle nature about life. And I was reading this book and reading another book, getting ready for a future series, and had an interesting idea, and it's an interesting spin to kind of take with miracles. This author said, we live in a culture of constant chaos. I want to get that phrase right. And what does religion offer us? Religion offers us the reality of permanent things. And so it is true. We live in an area where it just feels so chaotic. Being down here in South Africa, having stopped by to visit some folks in England, and a lot of these folks are very aware of our church and what we're trying to do. Some of them even watch us fairly often, and it still has this feeling like, oh yeah, we're all kind of aware. We're living in very, very chaotic times on so many levels, and I don't think we're at the end of that anytime soon. It doesn't appear. So what is it that religion offers? Well, religion offers, I want to read you that line again, the reality of permanent things. That's what the life of faith speaks to, is the reality of permanent things. So if we kind of think of it as a dichotomy here, we have this idea of chaos, what's chaotic, and we have this reality of permanent things. And I really do believe that what we can do is we can see miracles within that enclosure of the reality of permanent things. There are just simple realities, real realities that are permanent, that we know. Things like love wins, things like connection, things like family, things like deep relationships, and the beauty that we can see in marriages and in dating and in all these different kind of facets. Like, those really are miracles. And those miracles are actually reflective of permanent things that always have been and always will be. And we can keep going back to that in times that feel so chaotic. So it's not thinking of miracles per se as magical thinking. I think that's a real easy thing to do. Real easy to think we live in a time of chaos. We need to have this magical thinking go on where we can flip a switch or snap our fingers and whatever, all the chaos goes away. That's not true. That's not how life works. We're in the midst of that kind of space that feels very chaotic, and that will continue, no doubt. And yet what we can do is again, we push aside sort of the miracle / magical thinking and pick up the miracle / ordinary things, where we just start to see the miracles, the miraculous in our lives, in terms of a real deep focus on those parts. So friends, that's the takeaway for today. Just notice a miracle right in front of you over the next hour. Could be a very simple thing, probably will be a very simple thing. Maybe one out of every 200 times we notice will be a great thing. Most of the time, miracles are small, and that's a reminder of, in this very calm way, God's with us. We don't need extraordinary circumstances to see the miracles in life. All we need to do is to open up our eyes to the very ordinary parts of our wonderful lives. So have a day doing that, my friends. And what we're going to do now is we're going to shift gears. And the way we shift gears is we're going to take a little breath. We're going to do a little meditation, a little prayer, a little blessing. So I'd ask you to join me first off in just taking a little breath and a meditation. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I. Be still and know that. Be still and know. Be still and. Be still. Be. Our Father, who art in the heavens, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, as in heaven, so upon the earth. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we also forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious unto you. May the Lord lift up his countenance upon you, bring you peace, and bring you home. Amen. All right, dear friends, wishing you all the very best. Again, you can leave a written comment, and we will get to them in due course throughout the course of the day. And wishing you all the very best. Take care. Bye-bye. Like our content? It's funded by viewers like you. Please consider becoming a sustaining supporter of New Church Live.